Ladies and gentlemen, you were not born just to survive. You were not born to die broke, tired, invisible, and forgotten. You were born with a mind, a will, and the same 24 hours that billionaires have. And what you do with those 24 hours is the only thing that separates a broke man from a powerful one. Broke isn't just financial, it's a mindset. It's living life on your knees, accepting mediocrity, watching time tick by while your dreams rot. That's what happens to people who never decide to rise. That's what happens when you tolerate excuses instead of rejecting them. Money is not just currency. It's not just paper or digital numbers. It is power. It's independence, it's the ability to say no, it's control over your time, your health, your environment, and your life. Anyone who tells you money doesn't matter is either lying to you or broke and trying to justify their situation. Money is freedom, and without it, you are not free. You are a servant to those who have it. Understand this, when you don't have money, your choices are limited. You wake up not because you've finished sleeping, but because your boss told you to. You don't eat the best food. You eat what you can afford. You don't go where you want. You go where your budget lets you. You don't protect your loved ones the way you should, because you don't have the means to do it. Broke people live under invisible chains. They pretend to be free, but they are prisoners of their own financial weakness. And here's the brutal truth. Nobody feels sorry for the broke man. Society steps over him. Women ignore him, banks reject him, courts punish him, hospitals delay him, employers exploit him, politicians use him, and even friends pity him. That is the real world, and in the real world, money is respect. Money gets you the seat at the table. Money opens doors, it ends problems, it buys time, it brings options. Now don't get it twisted. Money isn't evil. The lack of money is what creates evil. Most crime, suffering, stress, and depression comes from being broke. Families fall apart because of financial pressure. Dreams die because they aren't funded. People rot in bad environments not because they want to, but because they can't afford to leave. Think about how many lives could be changed with money. How many opportunities you missed because you couldn't pay. How many times you said, "I wish I could," instead of "I will." That's not freedom, that's slavery. You're in a modern-day cage, and the only key is cash. People say money won't solve all your problems, and they're right. It won't solve emotional problems. It won't make you a man if you're soft inside. But it solves 90% of the external issues. It gives you the space to fix the rest. It's hard to be spiritual, motivated, or creative when you're drowning in bills. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, but it gives you the freedom to chase it. The top 1% understand this. That's why they hoard assets. That's why they protect time. That's why they wake up early, read books, study the markets, launch businesses, build networks. They don't chase leisure. They chase leverage. They know the power of being able to walk into a room and never need permission. The rich man plays life on his terms. The poor man plays defense his whole life. So if you're broke right now, don't cry about it, but you better hate it. You better get sick of it. Because until you get disgusted with your situation, you'll never change it. Broke isn't permanent, but staying broke is a decision. Every second you waste is a second you could have used learning a high-income skill, closing a sale, building a brand, or investing in yourself. Stop wasting your life being poor when you were born with a brain. The internet has made more millionaires in the last 5 years than any time in human history. You're not stuck, you're soft, and until you embrace discomfort, sacrifice, and obsession, you'll stay broke. Money respects discipline. It runs from weak men. Make no mistake, you will work in life either way. You'll either work to get rich, or you'll work to stay broke. You'll either suffer now for financial freedom, or you'll suffer forever in mediocrity. It's your call, but don't lie to yourself. Don't say you want freedom, but sleep in. Don't say you want success, but scroll TikTok all day. Don't say you want to take care of your family, but you can't take care of your own schedule. Money is earned, not given. Nobody is going to knock on your door and save you. The government won't help. Your job won't save you, and your friends aren't responsible. You are. You are your only chance at freedom. And if you're a man with any self-respect, you owe it to yourself to get rich, not just for the cars or watches or clothes, but for the ability to say, "I answer to no one." That is power, that is freedom. and freedom is everything. Nobody is coming to save you, that's the reality. The sooner you understand this, the faster you take control of your life. This isn't a movie. There's no superhero, no lucky break, no miracle moment where the universe suddenly decides to hand you success. You either take it or you get crushed by those who do. Weak men sit around hoping someone will give them a chance, hoping someone will fix their life, hoping life gets easier. Let me tell you something, life doesn't get easier. You either get stronger or you get eliminated. No one owes you anything, not your parents, not your boss, not your government, not your friends, and certainly not the world. The universe rewards value and strength, not excuses and emotions. The harsh truth is that most people don't even care about your problems. And why should they? They're too busy dealing with their own. While you're crying about how unfair life is, someone else is out there grinding harder than you with less than you and still winning. So the question isn't why me, the question is why not me? Why haven't you taken full control yet? You were born into a system that's built to keep you average. School didn't teach you wealth. Society didn't teach you power. They trained you to be obedient, to follow, to submit. And most people are fine with that because it's comfortable. But let me make this clear. Comfort is a trap. Comfort kills ambition. Comfort is the drug they feed you to keep you weak. You want to know why most people stay broke? Because they keep waiting for something. They wait for the weekend, wait for the right time, wait for motivation, wait for permission, and all that waiting leads to wasted years. The clock doesn't care about your feelings. Time is either your enemy or your weapon. That's your choice. Nobody is coming to your house to hand you discipline. No one's waking you up at 5 a.m. No one's forcing you to read, study, invest, train, sell, or grind. If you don't build yourself, you will stay broken. You will stay behind. The world does not adjust to your excuses. It rewards those who produce results. You think being tired, stressed, broke, or anxious makes you special. It doesn't. Every man on this planet has a story. The only ones we remember are the ones who fought through it. Every winner I know had every reason to give up. Every champion I've met had pain, setbacks, failures, betrayal, and doubts. But they didn't fold. They built resilience. They decided that no matter how hard it gets, they would keep moving. Because that's the mindset of a man who refuses to be average. He doesn't wait. He doesn't beg. He conquers. Here's the lesson. You are your own savior. You are your rescue mission. You are the hero you've been waiting for. No external event is going to change your life until you change yourself. You think your dream girl is going to fall in love with you while you play video games and cry about your ex. You think the business is going to build itself while you scroll social media. Wake up. Everything you want, freedom, money, power, health, respect, legacy, lies on the other side of hard work and personal responsibility. It's you vs you. It always has been. Stop outsourcing your destiny to luck. Stop waiting for the economy to fix. Stop blaming your past. Your circumstances may not be your fault, but your response is 100% your responsibility. You don't need a new year, you need a new standard. Raise your standards. Demand more from yourself than you ever have. If you don't know how to get rich, learn. If you're not disciplined, train yourself. If you lack skills, build them, but stop waiting. Waiting is a disease, and it kills more dreams than failure ever could. Success doesn't knock. It doesn't ask for permission. It must be taken, and only those with the fire to fight for it will earn it. Nobody is coming to give you power. You either seize it or you stay powerless. The future belongs to those who act, not those who wait. So what are you going to do? Keep pretending? Keep lying to yourself? Or are you finally going to take the wheel and drive your life where it needs to go? No one's coming. It's all on you. So act like it. Your income is a direct reflection of your output. It's a scoreboard of how hard you work, how smart you work, how consistent you are, and how much value you bring. If your bank account is empty, it's not the economy's fault. It's not your boss. It's not the algorithm. It's you, because no matter how unfair life is, and yes, it is unfair, as alts don't lie and they don't care about excuses. People want the lifestyle, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want the cars, the mansions, the Rolex, the freedom, but they're not willing to go to war for it. They want success to fall into their lap while they operate on the same weak schedule, the same lazy habits, the same soft mindset. That's not how it works. That's fantasy. The real world doesn't pay dreamers. It pays doers. Let me make it very clear, you will never outearn your work ethic. You can't manifest money. You can't affirm your way into wealth. That's cute Instagram garbage for people who want to feel good without doing the work. If you want to make serious money, you need to become a machine. A disciplined, obsessed, relentless machine. You need to show up when no one's watching. You need to grind when it's boring. You need to sacrifice comfort every single day. While most of the world is sleeping, scrolling, binge, watching, and complaining, you should be learning skills, building assets, pushing your limits, making money move. You should be hungry. Because the truth is, there are men out there with half your talent and twice your effort, and they're winning not because they're better, but because they're working harder, and that's all it takes. The universe responds to output. You put in average work, you get average pay. You want elite income, then give elite effort. Wake up earlier, read more, execute faster, outperform yourself daily. Your routine should be structured like war. Disciplined, intentional, powerful. Most of you don't need more motivation. You need a work ethic so strong it embarrasses your excuses. People say, I'm tired. Good. So is every man who ever built an empire. You think champions get to rest when they feel like it. You think multimillionaires got rich sleeping in and relaxing every weekend. No, they became obsessed. They treated work like a mission, not an option, and they were willing to give everything to escape mediocrity. Now, I'm not telling you to burn out. I'm telling you to wake up. Wake up from this lie that balance is the key to success. In the beginning, there is no balance. There is only work. You put in years of sacrifice now so you can live decades in freedom later. That's the trade, and it's worth it, because when you've built a life of power, nobody controls you. Nobody tells you when to clock in, where to live, what to wear, how to think. That freedom is earned. And it's only earned through relentless work. Ask yourself honestly, what have you really done in the last 24 hours to move your life forward? Did you waste time? Did you procrastinate? Did you execute? Your daily actions are the blueprint of your future. If you keep showing up like a loser, you're going to lose. It's that simple. But if you show up like a savage every day, no matter how you feel, you'll win. Eventually, the world will have no choice but to reward your consistency. And don't tell me you're trying. Trying is a word broke people use to justify their lack of progress. Winners don't try, winners do. They figure it out, they take risks, they fail, adjust, and go again, because that's what separates average men from extraordinary ones, how they respond to pressure. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're not supposed to feel motivated. You're supposed to do it anyway. That's the work ethic of a warrior. That's the mindset of someone who refuses to stay broke. You train your mind to obey. You condition your body to perform. You push until the standard becomes automatic. Then you raise it. The money you want, the freedom you crave, the respect you demand, it's waiting, but only for the man who is willing to outwork everyone else. Your current situation is temporary, but only if you're willing to outgrow it. Nobody is stopping you. There's no gatekeeper, just your laziness, your comfort, and your weak habits. Remove them, destroy them. Replace them with discipline and obsession. Because at the end of the day, your bank account doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to your execution. Work like a beast, think like a king. Act like your life depends on it, because if you don't, it will. Money is not made by chance. It's not made by wishing. It's not made by waiting. Money is made through value. If you're broke, it means you're not giving enough value to the world. Period. Harsh, maybe, but it's the truth. In a free market society, people get paid for solving problems. You find a need, you fill it. You see a gap, you bridge it. You offer something someone wants or needs, and they pay you for it. That's how wealth is created, not by luck, not by prayers, but by value exchange. If you're sitting there wondering why your life hasn't changed, why your bank account is dry, why no one is sending you PayPal notifications or crypto transfers, look in the mirror. Ask yourself, what problem am I solving? What am I doing that actually matters to the world? Because the cold reality is that no one pays you for existing. You only get paid when you make someone else's life better, easier, faster, stronger, safer, or more profitable. That's the game. You either play it or you get played by it. Every product you use, every app on your phone, every business you interact with, someone built that. Someone identified a value gap and exploited it. They didn't sit around crying about why they weren't rich. They studied, they built, they tested, they failed, and they created something useful. That's how money moves. Money follows utility. The guy flipping burgers isn't underpaid because the system is broken. He's underpaid because the value he provides is replaceable. Harsh truth. You can scream that's unfair all day long, but the economy doesn't care. The marketplace rewards results, not feelings. You want to earn more. You need to do something that others can't or won't. Build skills, build leverage, build something people are willing to pay for. That's the formula. Start here. What do people complain about? What do they struggle with? What do they hate doing? That's opportunity. The world is full of problems. 99% of people just live with them. The top 1% solve them for a price. You want freedom. Solve expensive problems. Create undeniable value. When you do that, you name your price, but instead of thinking like creators, most people think like consumers. They scroll, they watch, they react, but they never produce. They wait for a paycheck like a dog waiting for a treat. And then they wonder why they're stuck in the rat race. The answer is simple. If you don't create value, you will always be someone else's employee. You will always be under someone else's control. The modern world rewards those who build. Whether it's a business, a brand, a product, a service, or a platform, creators own the table. Consumers just get crumbs. If you want wealth, you must shift from consumer to producer. That's the transition that turns average men into millionaires. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need a college degree. You need awareness, discipline, and action. Learn high-demand skills: sales, marketing, coding, branding, copywriting, e-commerce, investing, whatever fits your style. Then find a way to package that skill into something someone will pay for. It could be coaching. It could be an agency. It could be a product. Doesn't matter. What matters is this: you must produce something of worth. Think about this. Every dollar you've ever earned came from another person's pocket. Why did they give it to you? What did you give them in return? If you can't answer that clearly, you don't understand money. And that's why you're broke. Let me tell you something no one taught you in school. Money is a scoreboard for how well you serve others. If you want to increase the score, increase your service, increase your value. Help more people, solve deeper problems, do it faster, do it better, do it at scale. The man who creates value cannot be ignored. He becomes essential, he becomes powerful, and power equals freedom. So stop whining about not having enough. Start creating. The world doesn't need more followers, it needs solution. Makers, action takers, builders, winners, and if you're not one of them, someone else is taking your spot. And your money, you want to get rich? Serve, solve, sell, scale. That's the blueprint. Nobody is coming to pour value into your life. It's your job to inject value into the world. And once you master that, money chases you. Most people live their whole lives chasing lifestyle. The car, the club, the brand, new phone, the newest hype drop, fake validation on social media, that's how they measure success. Flash, not substance. But here's the problem. Lifestyle fades, legacy doesn't. Lifestyle is consumption. It's temporary. You buy something, you feel good for a few hours, then it's gone. The car gets old, the clothes go out of style, the likes stop rolling in, and suddenly you're empty again chasing the next high. That's not power, that's weakness in disguise, and that's why the majority stay broke even when they make money, because they confuse flexing with building. Real power is in legacy, it's in what you create. What you leave behind, the impact you have on the world long after you're gone. Legacy is how you're remembered, and here's the truth. Nobody remembers the guy who wore designer. They remember the man who changed things. The man who built empires, inspired others, created wealth, and moved like a general. Do you want to be known as a man who spent money or a man who generated it? Do you want to be the clown popping bottles for likes, or the strategist who built businesses, transformed lives, and created generational power? Let's be real, any fool can look rich for a weekend. You can max out a credit card and rent a Lambo. You can borrow your friend's watch and take selfies in a 5-star hotel, but you can't fake legacy. That requires work, discipline, long-term thinking, and most importantly, self-control. Delayed gratification is the key. The ability to say no to something now so you can say yes to something much bigger later, that's the trait of a man building legacy. He doesn't waste time impressing people who don't matter. He doesn't burn his paycheck on nonsense just to look successful. He invests, he stacks, he studies, he builds something that will outlive him, because when you die, and yes, you will, nobody's going to care what shoes you wore, they'll care what you stood for, what you built. Who you helped, how your existence elevated others, that's legacy. And if you're not thinking like that, you're playing small. If you're obsessed with lifestyle, you're easy to control. You're chasing status symbols that other men own. You're working your life away to buy luxuries that don't increase your power. That's what the system wants. Broke men with expensive tastes. The man who lives for lifestyle is always in debt, financially, emotionally, and mentally. But the man building legacy, he's dangerous, he's untouchable, because he isn't chasing, he's attracting. He isn't spending to impress, he's earning to grow. He's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers with credit cards. That's the man who wins in the long game. And here's the best part. When you chase legacy, lifestyle eventually comes. But it comes on your terms. You'll buy the car when it makes sense. You'll wear the watch when it's a trophy, not a crutch. You'll travel, live free, and enjoy life. But with assets behind you, not debts around you. You don't need to reject lifestyle, but you must prioritize legacy. Build your name, build your brand, build your mind. Build your empire. Make it so that 10 years from now, you don't have to introduce yourself. Your results will speak for you. And what does legacy look like in real terms? It's owning businesses that print money while you sleep. It's having land, stocks, assets, and systems that keep growing. It's knowing your children and their children will eat because you moved smart today. It's building a reputation so solid that doors open before you knock. It's mentoring others and multiplying impact beyond yourself. A man with legacy can't be ignored. A man chasing lifestyle will always be replaceable. So ask yourself right now, when you're 80 years old looking back, do you want to remember the clubs you went to and the cars you rented? Or do you want to know you built something that changed your bloodline forever? Legacy is ownership. Legacy is scale. Legacy is real wealth, and it demands that you stop living for likes and start living for impact. Build a life that speaks when you're silent. Build a name that echoes when you're gone. Forget lifestyle. Chase immortality and refuse to die forgettable.